Guys, um, I've got both. I should have grabbed my other phone too. I'm so happy. I got both these phones here. I need a different box possibly because I made dinner. Like I'll tell you about my day in a second, but obviously I didn't have time to make. Well, I guess it would be lunch. I kind of yeah my eating is weird. Was it breakfast? No, not breakfast because I had half a lean cuisine. All right. Um. So where's my water? You know what? So I made salmon, and I got these like they're called like they're rice that you make in like a minute. It looks like this, but they're really good. This is the basmati, and you don't need refrigerator space for them. You get them in like the bottom of the in the rice aisle. Oh yeah, isn't that cute? I probably shouldn't have worn makeup with this. I didn't know I was gonna wear this, but I found it in the garage, and um, I thought taking my makeup would calm me down. I'm waiting for Arthur to call so I can start chowing down. Put it on my hand. I'm assuming he's gonna call first, but anyone can really call if they want. Oh, thank you. Um, so I tried to leave the house today. I had plans, but not like plans. Like I kind of had a goal because I got this one first. Whoever's calling on the other line, call back after. Hi, Arthur.
Hey, what's up?
So I got a knock on my door yesterday, and I didn't know who it was. It was unexpected. I can't because I have the two pit bulls. If someone knocks on my door, I can't just answer it. Because well, really, especially Fila, I feel like she's liable to dart out. So before I open the door, if someone might be there, I actually have to lock them away in a different room and close the door. So I didn't know what it was, but I guess it was um, like something from a lawyer for my mom's probate. And so my plan today was to go to um, the post office to pick it up to give my ID, and I'd have to sign for it. And then while I'm out, go to the box because I know Terry said he sent me like something silly, and I think I have something else that might be there. Um, I made it. It was hard, but I made it out the door, and I made it to the parking lot of the post office. But the shaking was so bad and so brutal, I couldn't get out of the car. I just kept getting electrocuted, and I broke down crying. So I'm just like sitting in the front seat, sobbing, like, and I knowing because I'd have to get out of the car and have to talk to people. Like I couldn't be like, and I'm just like tears pouring, and like when I had to turn it and go back home, so demoralizing. I came home. This was pretty early. Like remember, and I might have some more of me like playing this morning. Um, remember uh like this with the I think I had the finger. Well, anyway, so after that, I jumped in the shower. Um, it wasn't that long after I had, like I said, half a link was in a noodle bowl. So I come back and I take the antihistamine, which I'm like running out of. It's all I have. I don't have anything else for the anxiety, and I fell asleep most of the day. And from then, and I wake up late, and that's I'm making food because I didn't have food. Not coffee. I thought about getting like maybe if I get a Starbucks while I'm out, like a pumpkin spice, but I hear they're $8.15. I mean for the Starbucks. The Dunkin' I think is less and they're bigger, but it's not near me. But I just couldn't justify, you know, over $8. I mean, I remember when back in my day when they were only like six something. um, and I feel like at that point, because there's so many other things that for that amount of money you still could get. Like, yeah, like actually, if you sign up for my OnlyFans, I'll make like a little over like $7. So I wouldn't even be enough to get the one of the coffees. I thought maybe a coffee down, but I was like, I really can't justify it at that price. And I thought if I could get to the, but I probably couldn't have talked in the drive-thru anyway. I was really just a wreck. So that's what I did, and I'm not feeling great. Last night you guys knew. I mean, I told you guys last night that I was going to be watching the Big Brother, and I didn't make it through the whole thing. It went over 13 hours. Did you see, Terry? And Cameron won the HOH. But it should be exciting. But so last night I listed some eyelashes for sale. Sorry, I'm just really hungry. Nobody's bought it, but I listed it to try to make some money. And actually saw something interesting too. I should tell you after. And I took it a bath. I thought it might help calm me down. And actually, I've been having like a lot of like pain and cramps. I came back last night, and so I did take that bath. And I took that. I probably shouldn't. Anyway, so I didn't. Yeah, I'll just say it. Like, I didn't get to bed till pretty late, and I don't like to say goodnight until I'm going to sleep, because I feel like if I say goodnight to somebody, they would think I'm going to bed, and they would be like, "Oh, I know you went to bed okay." Like, basically, because I actually got in trouble this morning with somebody like, "You didn't say goodnight." Like, I was up late watching and stressed watching that HOH competition that I said I was going to watch, and I said yesterday, I took the antihistamine, slept during the day, that I wasn't going to be able to fall asleep right away anyway. And then I got this comment. Well, it wasn't a comment; it was a message. And I'm saying this now because I think it'll help you understand like part of what I go through. So I was doing masks last night. I did a hair mask. I did 2 different face masks, and at one point I did this gold one, this 24 karat gold. So if you remember, I also put it like all over my titties. And yeah, and then I take those pictures, and I like to play with like angles. It calms me down to do like art therapy. Like, that's why I said about doing my makeup, it calmed me down. And so when I did the picture of like my breasts, and when they're all like that 24 karat gold mask, and I was like, oh, this is cute. I get this message this morning, and it's like, you didn't say goodnight. And I remember that once when I said about your boobs, and you got mad at me, and I said, it's like, actually, I remember what that was. Somebody had given me a comment. I'm not gonna say who this person was, but it's the person I'm talking about, that comparing my breasts to their extensive viewing of pornography. And it's like, number one thing people know about me, if you know anything else or nothing else, it's that I don't like to be compared to no one. And then it's like, you're comparing my breasts, and this is being presented to me, and why do I have to do with a porn person? And it's like, anyway, and it really bothered me. And that person, I thought, had learned since then, like, they don't do that anymore and whatever. And then they bring it up this morning, and I say this now because I'm looking back during the day where I end up unable to go to the place, because I think something gets triggered in my brain that, oh no, I have made a mistake. I have made an error. I'm in trouble. And the shock of it, because of like what I've been through, the shock of being unprepared that I've done something wrong and now I have a problem, it so has affected me that being like, oh, I did something wrong. I didn't say goodnight. Well, what did I do wrong? And they even wrote like, oh, you're making up for it. Like, because I ended up posting more pictures of, because at the time it didn't even really occur to me to like even stand up for myself until now. And it's like, oh, I did something wrong. What, over a year ago? When you know, but so I get so twisted. I can't even go to the post office. I can't even do this for what's going on with the lawyer for my mom. And so I just feel like, and then it was so nice because Terry wrote me, I hope that you're not shaking today. What?
Stop. Let me put my sense in now. I don't know whoever this guy is. He's obviously a troll, and and Stella, and just because you forgot to say bye, girl, you didn't do shit wrong. And just because you flash your breasts like that, that's your business. And for other people to say about how and for say for somebody to just
See, paper plate, disposable fork.
It's like a porn. Stella, you heard that.
No, it was something about how my breasts. I think he used the word hang. Hang. This was over a year ago, but it was like comparing me to porn people and how you could tell like my breasts were natural. I'm like, I don't want what? Why are you saying this to me? Like, why are you comparing me to people? This is weird. Well, yeah, but this was so long ago. I didn't even care until it comes and hits me this morning when I get up, and then I can't get my things done. And it's just like, and you said this about like, what I'm saying is, I broke down crying today. I didn't want to have to take this medicine. I didn't want to have to sleep through the day. I had nothing else. I have nothing else except that antihistamine. I think I only have one left anyway. Just to try to calm down and put me to sleep because I can't. Basically, I'm worried that my brain has been like fried from all these electrocutions in this time that I've been waiting to get any kind of help. I'm worried that certain circuits have been broken. I'm worried, and because the pain gets worse. The pain was so bad. Like, and then zap was like, after, I'm like, oh my God, this hurts. And so I just couldn't stand to keep that pain, this constant pain. And I'm terrified that this has done some serious damage. All the while, it's still happening. I still haven't gotten any help. I'm still waiting. So I have to try to be careful to not experience any more of this pain in the meantime of waiting to get help. Because I don't know what damage is being done. I know that I'm having very different dreams. I'm having different ways of trying to, like, you know, when you're trying to like remember a thought you had, when you're just using your brain, you know, like the way your brain usually is working. And you know when it is different. And I'm like, this is scary. And that's part of why I sleep today. And I bet it pissed off somebody else. I bet somebody's going to be like, you weren't talking enough today. You weren't, yeah, like saying anything. Like, unfortunately, this is what happened. Like, you have to understand, I have an appointment on the 21st. I'm hoping and hoping I can get it before then. I'm doing literally the best that I can. You think I want to be sitting here right now embarrassing myself, eating a salmon? Yeah, no, I should be having like a coffee. I should be having snacks. But this is what I have to do around it, you know? So I really wish that people would give me a little grace when you can't be any harder on me than I am on myself. And that's really sad, you know? It's like, you start out in the hospital and you're like a baby if you're in like your little baby bed, you know, and have them in like the little, what do they call them? Like those little plastic buckets. And if the adults say, I mean, maybe you could intimate what they're meaning, but I don't know if they'd say to like, they might be talking like alien, like, oh, but if they're like, oh, my baby looks better than your baby and your baby looks stupid. And then the other baby, they're not going to be thinking, what? I look stupid? What? Like, until they learn, oh, this is life, like being compared, belittled, like you've already done something wrong when you literally were just born 5 minutes ago, but you're already failing at your comparisons. But I feel like it's awful. Like, yeah, I'm worse to myself, but you know, I'm trying to work out of that. If anything, can you just be like easier on me while I'm literally terrified I have serious brain damage from all of the horrible pain that I've had to suffer? Thank you. Rant over. Let me eat some salmon.
Yeah, I didn't think I would talk.
I'm sorry. I figured people would want to know.
But anyway, not to say this. Still, if you had a history of this, of people doing this, you know, one time Brian did a revenge porn on you, and I told you everything on what he did. And let me tell you, Stella, wasn't this person who did this a year ago?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do one thing, because the more times you keep showing showing your
Asshole.
Your condition. Who? Guess who's winning? The people who sent you those dirty messages.
Mm-hmm.
And they know they can just easily get you to into those conditions. Now, what have I been saying to you since day one? Don't let them win. Instead of you're letting them win.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
you have to win.
Mm-hmm.
No, you have to win. My mother tells me that every time. Don't let these people tell you what you are. Everything is something.
Can I ask you something? What do you think? What do you think that they're winning? Like, is their prize? Is it my suffering?
No, it's no prize.
Mm-hmm.
They are winning because they know that they can
hurt me.
Get under your, they know that they can get under your skin. Don't let them get under your skin.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something, Arthur. Have you ever hurt someone?
No.
Okay, what about me? Like when you said all those things to me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so during that time, okay.
Let me just tell you this. Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Let me just tell you, when I was in my 20, when I was a younger, I said a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
To my family too.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother always asked me this, and I always look myself in the mirror. She always asked me, what happened to the son that she raised?
And that felt bad, didn't it? That felt really bad, didn't it?
And I looked in the mirror, I splashed water in my face, and I asked myself, where is he?
And was that winning? Was that winning? Were you winning? No.
No, I was losing.
Exactly. So remember what happened with me? Remember when you said those things, okay? The cops came, people got involved, you had to get treatment. And then there was some months later, and you would watch the show on every Thursday, and you missed being a part of the show. And then you do your videos after and be like, I watched Shelter. And I would watch it sometimes. But then I remember when I did the Meet True Hollywood Story, and like you were sad that you couldn't be involved. But when I said about how I had been raped, and I had talked about what I had been through a lot and explained to people, and I remember you did this video and you were like crying and you're like, I'm a monster. How could I hurt this person? Like, that's been through that. I feel so bad. And that is not winning. Like, you felt bad that in the past you said things that hurt me. So I felt bad for you, and I brought you back and we made amends. And now you know that you brought more joy to me. You've been there when my mom passed away, and you let me talk to your mom. We've been even closer friends. And so that is the real winning. But because I have hurt people in the past too, and I can tell you, there's no real prize in hurting someone else. So for those people that you say, if they continue to hurt me, like the revenge porn on me, yeah, if I have brain damage from that, if I have so much trauma that like I'm suffering some kind of like stroke, some kind of permanent nerve damage, I would say to anyone that's caused that and like exploited me and participated in my suffering to break somebody down this low, I actually feel worse for them. I couldn't live with myself if I took part in doing that to a person. So no, I don't feel like they're winning in any way by my suffering at all. And if they don't realize that yet or feel that yet, then it's only going to be worse when they do.
Yeah, well, the best way to not make it worse for you, Stella, is to just do two things: block them or ignore them.
Well, a lot of the suffering is.
And a third thing. Well, make that fourth thing. And the third thing, he does happy stuff. He does happy stuff.
Okay. Do you want a trivia question, or it's not trivia?
Think of God, but yeah, I want to trivia. What game is it?
Gender bender. Well, this person isn't really a bully, but I'm trying to explain what happened this morning. How, like, you might not have had that intention of this happening to me, but this actually happened. Like, please be more gentle. But what happened with the revenge porn? That's absolutely. I mean, that's evil, criminal. That's not in the level of this.
Yeah, did you ever block this guy?
No, I'm not blocking them, but I'm just saying, like, how you can start the day and put a comment to somebody, but when they're already in a fragile condition, it can spiral to a point where that is like a bullet to them. Like, even if you didn't meant it as, like, you know what I mean, like a punch or something, like that can be so devastating to an already fragile person that you didn't need to start their day like that, because now they're unable to do things until maybe it'll be Monday, maybe, like, if that. I think you got to be careful with how you treat people if they really haven't done anything. They were watching Big Brother and they fell asleep. Like, there wasn't anything against you. But that everyone makes mistakes. Everyone deserves a second chance. This isn't that big of a deal, but it explains to you where I was today, what happened today from this morning. It fills in the blanks.
Not everyone deserves a second chance, though, because some people just love to do this. Because you want to know why they.
Well, it'll usually be more than once.
You want to know why people do this? Because it's fun for them. They don't care because it's fun for them. It's fun. It's fun for them to hurt other people. And what happens? Karma will come back on their asses.
I think sometimes everybody, like human beings, we have emotions. That's part of, like, you're alive. Your consciousness, and so I think when we feel a bad emotion, because we are what's the word? Like, we are meant to be community. We're meant to be with other people. So we'll expressing how we feel and communicate that. But, like, you have to understand how someone might receive, like, your feelings in that moment might not be, like, basically, before you have a conversation with somebody, before you have, like, a contact, usually it's a good kind of a rule to think about the outcome you want out of that. Usually it's very simple. You might want to make them laugh or check in or just keep, like, the bond. But sometimes if you're expressing yourself emotionally, you might think a little farther. Okay, what do I want to get from this? Like, I want to convey how I feel. Okay. And I think that you got to then question yourself too in their shoes. Like, am I being fair? Do they, like, yeah, I mean, there are layers to, like, human complexity of emotions, but I think that oftentimes that can be what it is. We're feeling insecure. We're feeling like, yeah, we're feeling bad. Everybody feels bad sometimes, but it's not always because it's fun. Some people, they find a certain thrill, I think, in feeling more empowered by hurting people, but that's more rare.
Yeah. You got my trivia question ready?
Well, it's not really a trivia. You have to answer. Suppose you're a woman, and then I'll see if you get it right.
What?
Okay. Suppose you were a woman. Question. When your man does you wrong, revenge is A, beneath you, B, only fair, or C, swift and deadly? So you're a woman and your man has wronged you. Like, imagine you're a woman, your man, like, he cheated on you. He slept with your best friend.
Revenge is what?
Beneath you, A, only fair, B, or C, swift and deadly?
Swift and deadly.
You're a vengeful woman. What would I say? Well, you know what the thing is? It says you're a man. Listen, it's like with that movie I saw where they lit her on fire. So often it's going to be somebody emotionally, somebody, like, it's a romantic like relationship, and feelings can turn violent, like the serious death, stalking, murder, like it's weird, but like yeah, it's going to be usually someone that you know, someone that has like those feelings. So very often that because it is your man, it actually would actually probably be fiercer, you know, than if it was somebody that there's not as much emotion behind. And maybe there's also maybe a certain sense of like a claim or a ownership of that. Okay, territory. Okay, yeah, I would say only fair, because I think it implies what you're doing is fair, whatever it is. But deadly, no. Okay, question. You'd never marry a man. A, you can't trust. B, can't train. Or C, can't cheat on. If you were a woman, that should be easy.
Can't cheat on?
No! You don't marry a man you can't cheat on? What?
Can't trust.
Can't trust. Well, you would be a hoe if you were a woman. How dare you? Okay, let's see. It's hard when there's only 3 answers because some of them like, I'm not gonna do that. Let me pick a good one for you. You need a man. Question. If you were a woman, you need a man in your life. A, most of the time. B, some of the time. Or C, about 2 hours a week.
That's the easy one. It's A.
You would need a man most of the time. For what? To open pickle jars?
Spend time with.
Do you feel like you need a woman most of the time?
I haven't experienced a girlfriend in a long time.
Well, let's see. Just about your view if you were to trade places. Your husband, you earn a good living. See, this is interesting too because this game is from maybe the 80s, so it's a little bit of a time capsule too. You earn a good living, but the banker says your husband has to co-sign your loan. What do you do? A, fight the system. B, get your husband to sign. Or C, find another banker. And back in like the 70s, you had to. For a car, a credit card, anything. Good for you. You would be a strong woman. What is that? Aww. Oh.
The reason why I'm singing that is because Bray Wyatt died.
Who was that?
He's a wrestler.
What did he die from?
36. Huh?
What did he die?
36.
What did he die from?
Well, earlier this year he was tested positive for COVID, but and also this is what happened to him when he caught COVID. It messed up his heart.
COVID.
It messed with his heart, and then just 24 hours after Funk died yesterday, Bray Wyatt died of a heart attack at 36.
That is so young. I wonder if he was taking like stimulants. You have to be careful with your arm.
Yeah, that was the second Wyatt family guy who died. That was the leader. 3 years ago, he lost Brody Lee. And Luke Harper. Now both of them are up in there.
Okay, Arthur, I'm going to ask myself if I was a man, and you have to grade me if I answer right, since you are the man perspective, okay?
Go ahead.
Okay. Suppose you were a man. if it were legal to have more than one wife, you would have A, 4 or more wives, B, 2 or 3 wives, or C, 1 wife. Ooh, this is hard because, like, here's the thing. Like, I feel like a wife, like, they would put, like, spices. They would know how to make the salmon taste better. A wife, like, they could, like, make my bed, fluff my pillows, lick my pussy. Oh, I guess if I'm a man, I don't have pussy. Lick my balls. So if I could have them, but then it doesn't feel right though. It doesn't. Yeah, it does. It doesn't feel. It feels like to have 4 wives is to have no wives. You know. Yeah. So I would still have just 1. All right. Did I answer right?
Yeah.
Get a maid.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what's. If suppose you were a man, you discover that your new lover used to be a nun. Do you feel A, shocked, B, curious, or C, indifferent? I probably would be shocked if it didn't say anything and also curious, but I wouldn't be putting me off because it's like in The Sound of Music. You know, you ever watch The Sound of Music and you know that song, I have confidence in me? Sometimes I sing that to myself, even though it's not true. But anyway, she was a nun, and then she married to the Von Trapps. So did I answer it right? What would you do if your new lover was a nun previously? Would you be curious?
I would love him.
Okay, suppose you were a man. What's the worst reason to go to bed with a woman? A, because you feel sorry for her. Aw, she has AIDS, poor thing. B, to make another woman jealous. Or C, because you're drunk.
I don't know what can he make another woman jealous when he's out there. I don't know. I guess he's dating that woman. Hmm?
Oh, I bet that happens. Like, to make a woman or a man jealous. Like, people are very, like, especially in very small, cloistered environments, your circle is so small, they get bored as hell. And that's like, they're like the only people like there. And so, you know, it's like, well, you pissed me off, so I'll fuck your father, your mother, your boyfriend, whatever. I don't know. I would say to make another woman jealous is a bad reason because you're using this person, you're actively trying to hurt someone else. Whereas because you're drunk, I mean, very often I think people do that. They already have the feeling, but they're nervous and they need to be like, I mean, I'm not advocating drinking, you know, I don't drink, but I don't think there's anything like wrong in that.
Yeah.
Okay. The first time if you were a man, you see her undressed, you notice that she has snakes tattooed all over her body. What do you do? A, turn out the lights. B, back away slowly. Or C, place snakes and ladders. Okay, so you guys know, like, I'm not into tattoos.
Snakes and ladders.
Yeah, I don't know that game, but is that the right answer?
I don't know.
Well, so I'm not into tattoos for myself. But see, here's the thing. I don't believe in this word preferences. Like, for the most part, if I was to say, you know, I prefer not to be like with a guy that would kill me in my sleep. Like, that's my preference. Like, okay. But like, other than like the obvious, like, yeah, I don't really believe in that. So it's like, you could fall in love with somebody and they have tattoos and there's this idea of like, you don't love somebody because they're the most beautiful, but they're the most beautiful because you love them. So if it was a guy, then there's snakes and whatever, they would become to me because it's them and that's their body, But otherwise, it's like, because as a woman, like, I don't want any tattoos. If I'm viewing it, the woman, and I'm the man choosing to be with her, I would prefer not to have the tattoos. But then again, this is like the 80s. I was like, y'all have seen my body even this morning. You said they, like, I don't have tattoos. So I don't know. I think that you would need more answers in the modern time, because tattoos are very common. There's like tattoo shops on every corner nowadays. Back in that time, maybe it only meant like jail, piracy, prison gangs. Okay, suppose you were a man. Question: you would take a job under a woman boss. A, if hell froze over. B, if the job looked really good. Or C, if she looked really good. Oh, I can answer this if I was a man. Take the job. Take it. Because women will treat men better, I think, than they will treat other women. So, yeah. So you'll get like baby. You'll get treated better. I think that the odds are more in the favor of getting preferential from a woman. I don't know if it's true in reverse. Like, I don't know if a woman would get better treated from a male boss. But yeah. So that's what I would do. Yeah. What would you do? Run and quit?
I don't know.
And work under no lady? Usually it'd be, if the job looked really good, you would take it. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Do you want to sing? Do you want to pray?
Oh yeah. Let me do the prayer. Yeah. Okay. Lord, okay. Lord, these last couple of days have been just awful. First, let me give my condolences to the Funk family and to the Raton Under family. Last Wednesday, we lost Terry Funk at the age of 70. At the age of 79. Because yesterday, we lost Wyndham Raton Under, aka Bray Wyatt, at age 36. I'm going to send my condolences to those legends and a veteran. They will be missed. And Jefferson. Now, second part of my prayer, Lord, Stella has been still going through some stuff in her life. And the only thing I gotta say, Lord, is just keep her strong. Don't let people hassle her and just let her go off the deep enough. I know she's got to do it on her own, but she also needs help, of course. She needs you. The Lord, give her the strength. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Oh, that was so nice.
Now, I got 2 songs. Here's the first one of the 2. And they're both from the soundtrack of movies. You know what? The first one, I'm not even going to tell you the name. Mm-hmm. I'm going to just sing it right now. Boom!
It's like hip hop.
Tell me, Johnsons, where are we going this time? Is it the 15th in 1999. All I wanted to do was play my guitar and sing. So take me away, I don't mind. But you promise me I'll be back in time. Gotta get back in time. Don't let the future one roll of the dice stop. Gotta remember, lightning never strikes twice. Please don't drive me. Don't want to be late again. So take me away. I don't mind. But I'll be back in time. Gotta get back in time. Gotta get back in time. Huey Lewis and the time.
That was fun.
Huey Lewis and the News back in time. That was from one of the greatest 80s movies and trilogies of all time. And I know you've seen it. Back to the Future.
Never seen it. Never seen it.
What?
I've been on the ride in Universal Studios. No, it's just never
You never
appealed to me.
saw Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3?
No, never even seen one. One of the three.
I want to reach my hand in there and be like, oh my God, back to the... That's one of the greatest movies.
What do you like about it? It's funny. It's heartwarming. The soundtrack. The 80s had some good movies. Good music.
She's been on this earth for I don't know how long, and she has not seen Back to the Future.
I usually just see what's like on the apps and stuff. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
I am just disappointed. I'm like,
Big Brother.
not seeing Back to the Future.
Like he goes back in time and then he makes his parents like hook up so that he can get born. And he does it in a car. And he gets bullied by someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? There's the clip notes.
So I hear the second one. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is.
Let's see if I can guess.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything lunging, listen to the yell and roar. You're doing the tension, begging to your touch and go.
Mm-hmm.
Highway to the danger zone. Highway to the danger zone.
Top Gun.
We're in the twilight, spread nothing wings tonight.
Just in an 80s mood tonight.
You got the jumping off the deck, shoving it overdrive. Highway to the danger zone. Take you ready to the danger zone. Never say hello to you until they on the wrong left down the load. You never know what you can do till you get it up as high as you can go. Kenny Rogers, Danger Zone, from the movie Top Gun. Please tell me you've seen that one.
No, I didn't see the original. I saw the sequel. I saw the Maverick one.
You mean you never never saw the one from
No, the one with like Val Kilmer.
wait,
No.
wait. Yeah. You mean to tell me that you know?
The thing is, I haven't seen so many classics because when I was growing up, I didn't have like TV and stuff. I didn't have much money to have like movies, so sometimes we'd go to like the video rental, and they would have like a lot of.
Yeah, that's what I did every Friday.
Yeah, but you know they had like the cheaper videos and then like the new releases that were more money. So I didn't always get to see like, you know, everything. But I think I've seen like a lot, but not like all the ones you think. Like that one would be more popular. So I wouldn't probably have seen that.
That shit has been popular.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah, but that would mean other people wanted to see it. It wouldn't be at the video rental for the $1 rental or whatever.
Yeah, this one here came out in '86.
Yeah, but video rental stores, they don't have all kinds. You could rent old movies if you've never seen Casablanca or something, you know? So that one will probably be a good rental if people are going on a date and be like, you know, because my mom used to say, they had like the soft serve ice cream, and right next to it, they had this video rental. And we used to rent beaches.
Kelly, are you telling me that you spent ages looking around the video store but didn't rent anything?
Well, you have to return it, or you get late fees.
No kidding.
But we would get beaches all the time. We'd rent beaches. There's a movie with Cher and Christina Ricci. And who's the one that's in Stranger Things? Yeah, but anyway, so they ended up giving it to us when they went out of like business. Like you can have it for you and your girls because you're the only one that has ever rented this movie. I mean, rented it all the time.
Yeah. Let me tell you, Stella, when I went to video stores, I rented video games. I rented movies.
I rented the Mary Kate and Ashley movies.
Rented a video game.
Pajama Party. You know, they had Sleepover movie. They had obviously the detective series. Yeah. I'm just saying, we go around and sometimes there'll just be like these like weird, crappy, like random movies and things. And the ones that were really popular that a guy maybe would get with his girl and have like a date probably wouldn't still be there or be more money. Like I'm trying to go by memory. You know, there's carpet, different, you know, you just have a kids section, new release, anything.
Yeah.
So that one, that's why it would so happen that I've never seen it. Yeah. I didn't watch Chinatown until this year because John told me that it was like 20s.
That you didn't watch who?
Chinatown, and that was a classic, but I made my way around to watching it finally, and I enjoyed it, so. And it's good to have it.
I'm not even going to ask you if you saw these, because I know they all gonna be no. You haven't seen Scarface?
No, I haven't seen Scarface, but I probably had the chance, but like on TV. I think they put that on TV a lot, but it never appealed to me at all. Like, it's about drugs, right?
Yeah.
And I know you all think that I'm into the actor because he got a younger woman pregnant. It's like, no. That's just like, because I only brought it up that I thought it was hot that he got her pregnant. But not him.
Yeah, and
Pacino.
And also, I'm not even going to... You haven't seen The Godfather.
Ooh, The Godfather. Yes, I have seen The Godfather. Because I saw the show on Paramount where it was like called The Offer, and so during that time they put The Godfathers like also to stream. So yeah, I did see it. Yeah, those are classics. You know, the horse.
Except for 3.
Mhm.
1 and 2, they're blasters.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they did with Godfather Part 3 back in 1990. Because that one there was just bad.
There was this guy, this like retarded guy, and my friend knew his brother, and it was like saying something, and it was like, what is he like saying? And it's just stuck in this room. Said he thinks that you look like the Don's daughter. He thinks you're beautiful, and it's like he really likes The Godfather, but I don't think I would look like any of them because, I mean, I'm not Italian. I'm not even like part Italian.
Yeah.
So, maybe they just have dark hair. Anyway, thank you so much. Lovely call. Love talking to you. Mwah! Love you. Okay. Next caller. Who called before? Hello, precious.
Maverick, you big stud. Take me to bed or lose me forever.
What? What is this? What? We're quoting movies? Is that from The Godfather?
No, that's from Top Gun.
Oh. I was close. So, how was your date?
I mean,
You said in so many words that you were into her. You were feeling chemistry, right?
yeah, I was feeling chemistry in my pants.
Well, that's a good sign.
So, anyways, we met at the bowling alley. We had tenders and fries, which wasn't that good. Then we bowled 3 games, and I gave her some tongue, and we went home.
You gave her a tongue after the fries. Why didn't you go for like a milkshake? Or like
well, I gave her tongue after we got back to hers.
What?
After we done bowling.
Oh. You pop some of those Wrigley's.
No.
Does she taste like chicken?
No, not really. This tastes like saliva.
Well, that's so nice. That sounds like a wonderful first date, and I think that she would be happy to know that you report that you were into her. You have a second date?
Well.
Did she kick your ass at bowling?
Well, she brought her own bowl. She's
good girl.
She needs to be in a league. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I like her. Did you throw the game?
No, I haven't bowled in like 15 years.
Were you like, oh, this is heavy? I don't normally love
I got a light ball.
Listen, bowling is cool. I don't know why more people don't go bowling anymore. It's such a fun, because you're like interactive, you know? It's like physical, but not too much. And they have food. Oh, you should go roller skating next time.
Well, I suggested we go miniature golfing, but it's been like 95 plus all this week, and she was like, "No, it's supposed to be hot." I was like,
oh, you know what? Cook her dinner, because you cook, and you said the food wasn't that great. You could do better. You know, I was just thinking like you could probably make a salmon better than me. You should ask her like, what foods do you like? Maybe make her something special. Potatoes.
Oh no, she got a real deceptive bite because I told the kids, I was like, so this weekend, she goes, I have my kids this weekend, which didn't make sense because she had her kids last weekend. I was like, okay.
But you know what? That's probably for the best, because why would you want to keep going on date and date and date? You know, if she's not really the one you want to spend a lot of time with. So better than to like string you along, you know? Just like, you know, I think I think that's it's good that you went out there because you could see. Because I asked you, when you sent me that picture of you, and I was like, "Do you put on deodorant?" Some people sweat when they're nervous. I do because he had a white shirt. He had like a white pull-up, and I'm like,
well, I had to put a white shirt underneath that shirt to make sure my chest hair didn't fall through or my nipples fall through. I also had to turn the undershirt inside out because it had a picture of a naked lady on the back because I got it from a strip club.
Okay. If that's your vibe, then...
Well, I don't have any white shirts. It doesn't have graffiti on it.
The Costco, isn't that where people buy shirts? I don't have Costco.
Well, I went to Walmart and got some Dago shirts.
You know the chicken at the Costco? I heard that they inject it 6,000 milligrams of sodium. That's a lot of sodium, guys. People don't even know. Like, that's like poison. It's like buying your poison cheap. And it's like, it finally occurred to me that saying, you ever hear that saying, Jeb, you are what you eat? And I always thought that was kind of silly. Like, oh, a fish? Like, how am I a fish? But really, you are the fish because, like, when we go to bed at night, a magical, like, tooth fairy lady doesn't come down on us and go, boop, boop, and it gives us, like, all for our growth and our healing. It has to come from what you're putting in it. Because what else are we building from? It's like, so whatever is in, like, the salmon, hopefully, like, I didn't add anything on it. I didn't add even butter or anything. So there could be bad things, there could be bad things in the sea. But hopefully, you need to have, some fats and proteins and, what do they call it? Micro nutrients, nutriments, I call them. But you really are. So if you don't eat anything, or you just eat like sugar, or you just like, that's literally for your skin, your hair, your health, your organs. It's just food that whatever you're putting in. And that didn't even really occur to me. It's like, yeah, that's true. I think I just kind of thought that I go in like some weird tank when I go to sleep, and then bloop, when I wake up, I'm like rejuvenated. So what did you eat today? Because that's what you are right now.
Well, today was my day off because I'm back on my winter schedule.
Oh yeah.
So I had 4 turkey sandwiches, 3 slices each, because I bought two 22-ounce packages. Then I had some Doritos, and I had a pepperoni pizza, and just been drinking water and soda. Chasers.
That sounds good. What I don't like is the people that just starve themselves like a concentration camp. It's like, sometimes do you ever see pictures of like these homeless people when like all that they eat all day is like fentanyl or something? And it's like, that's not a good diet.
Well, especially the ones go around, hey, can I get suck a dick $5?
What? I don't see that from a picture. Do you deliberately go there after work when you're lonely?
Well, here's the thing. I work during the day, so I have to be professional, so I can't act like a maniac a lot of times.
Okay, let me ask you some gender bending questions, okay?
If butt play, that really depends.
They haven't been very sexual yet, but okay. So, suppose you were a woman.
Okay.
You're having a drink with some friends, and a man you've just met makes a nasty remark about women. You would be inclined to A, laugh it off, B, say nothing and fume, or C, make a snide crack about men. I'd probably be C. No, I'm sorry, but
D, break a beer bottle and go, you want some of this?
But
it'd probably be C.
Okay, what about the reverse? As a man, what would you do then if a woman makes a crack about men first? Like, when you're out with your friends and a woman does that. You know what I mean? You go punch her?
now I go, whoa, the mouth on you. You blow your father with that mouth?
Oh. Well, I mean, they did start it.
That's actually a line from Sopranos. I sent you the link. I sent you the link so you can watch it later.
You sent me that one of the seesaw. My
Oh,
father
yeah,
says I'm best French kisser, so I was like, what? Okay, suppose
I'm going steady, so everybody does that. Yeah, but Daddy says I'm the best at it.
Suppose you were a man. So you have to judge me if I'm an expert man, okay?
All right.
Suppose you were a man. Question. You'd think the best thing about women is A, their earning power, B, their motherhood potential, or C, everything. Well, it got to be everything, right? I feel like. Go ahead.
It is everything because, you want a good wife who can be nourishing to your children, and also at the same time, you really want make sure that you can bring in the money, whether it's being on OnlyFans or in the boardroom, or both.
Well, I think if you had to pick one thing, I would say companionship. But I'd rather go with everything because there's so much more than one thing to everybody. So, okay. Suppose you were a man. Your daughter informs you that she wants to play baseball in the summer and ice hockey in the winter. Do you A, encourage her, B, discourage her, or C, say, where did I go wrong?
I'll definitely encourage that.
I would fail as a man then because I would say no, absolutely not. And I wouldn't let my son do sports either. You know how many people die? How many people there's no, but like how many people have done like high school sports or sports ground and then they have the physical ailments that come into play later on. Like they thought they dealt with when they're younger, but no. We get one body here. Here it comes back. Like you hurt your knee playing. What was she playing? Ice hockey? Yeah, ice hockey. Oh, you thought that puck hit you and you broke your knee and you're done? No. Like it's your 45th birthday and that knee's coming back to hurt. No, preserve yourself.
Todd Gurley. Well, you can also just have arthritis in your knees, like Todd Gurley, who played for the Rams for a couple of seasons. He had he's born with arthritis already in his knees. And Earl Campbell of the Oilers back in what I called the day, same thing. He had arthritis in his knees, and they were great running backs, but it's one of those natural elements. But they, especially Earl Campbell, who was a beast.
Yeah, and also some head damage too.
I mean, he didn't do as head damage as say Terry Bradshaw, who's probably dumb as a ball.
Joe Namath.
No, he's just a drunk. Well, Joe Namath already had bad knees in college, so when translated into pro football with the Jets, his knees were already shot. So by time in 72, 73, 74, especially, he only played literally with 74, his last season. He only played about a handful of games with Los Angeles. So, yeah.
Well, I think that people don't think in the long term. It's like you see people as like disposable, like it's like that movie. What was that? Oh, I brought it up before, but what was the one?
Fallout Bird.
What? Run. Someone's Run. Logan's Run. And it's like they'll be like
I don't know.
killed off, when they're like 30 or whatever. Like it's like we see people like this very short term. So it's like, yeah, you could do these sports and then get injured when you're young, but when you're older, you're not going to matter anyway or something. It's like, but instead of thinking, oh no, like take care of yourself because this is the body you're gonna have. So, like, I don't think I think our culture is like sees people as so disposable. They don't care. I mean, even in jobs, people work on their legs, their arms, I don't know how hard your job is on you physically, but you think about doing that for a long time. Just don't take care of people. It's like, no, the next one.
I mean, look at Tom Brady, who retired at what, 44?
Oh, Tom Brady, they changed the rules to make it easier for him, around him.
Okay.
Sorry, Terry.
George Blanda, okay? He played literally until he was 49 years old. He played for like 30 years, shit like that. But that was an era where he smoked cigarettes, drunk beer, and carouse back in the day. That he literally played from 1949 to like 70 something. So, and Nolan Ryan, he had a good 25-year career.
As a pitcher,
Nolan Ryan, the pitcher, he was drafted with the Angels in the 68.
What did you say, John? It's like Joe Wiley made a commercial wearing pantyhose.
Well, nothing as sexy than Burt Reynolds naked on a tiger skin rug.
Guys, hey, will you take the inspiration? Okay, suppose you were a man. Your girlfriend buys you some aftershave that you really don't like. Do you A, use it every day, B, never use it, or C, fill the bottle with your own brand?
Use it every day, because if you use it every day, you can get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm like, what wouldn't you like? I don't know. What's aftershave? That's like stuff that burns. I think I tried to put it on my pussy once. Because, I get these lots with like different samples sometimes. And it just burns like alcohol. I'm like, ow, my vagina. So, I don't know if it's supposed to like close the pores, the hair follicles.
It's supposed to smell sexy, so your secretary would be like, Keith, here's the handsome files. Oops, let me pick that up. She bends over and her panties are showing. She has a lipstick tattoo.
Like here's one that's a little bit sex themed. Suppose you were a man. After your first date with the office knockouts, the guys want details, but nothing happened. What do you say? A, nothing happened. B, boy, am I tired. Or C, mind your own business.
A gentleman doesn't tell.
Yeah, but don't you think that implies then that something happened?
Not necessarily. I mean, I could say, I had amazing sex with the knockout, and is it true? If I thought about it, yeah, it's true. Did it actually happen? No.
What?
It's like the old saying. It takes two people takes two people to lie, one to tell it, one to listen. But really, it's none of their fucking business. Just like the other day at work, my supervisor just asked me how the date went. I told her I gave her some time.
You could have said.
Just because it was mostly uneventful, but that was beside the point.
Okay, suppose you were a man leaving the bathroom at a party. You notice that you have dribbled on the front of your pants. Do you A, laugh it off, B, hide until it dries, or C, dump a drink in your lap? Okay, has this ever happened to you?
I do have a case of the dribbles sometimes, but
do you have you ever like left the fly open and the ween is sticking out?
I I come to work and forgot to zip up. So
Is the micro pop out if it's more micro, and if it's bigger, does it stay in? Or is that only if you don't wear underpants?
Well, I'll wear boxers, so.
I wonder if guys that are very proud of their manhood and they don't normally get to show it off, if they like take it out of the fly and kind of like flop it down, and like, oh, what? What's that? Oh, I didn't notice that, ladies. You know, or if that's illegal.
Well, the great thing about having a small cock is that your fly can be open and you won't notice because your cock is too small to notice. It'd be like if you forgot to zip up your blouse and you're flat chested. Are you really exposing your breasts?
You would think, okay. Question: If you were a man, you would most likely seek your father's advice about A, money, B, women, or C, children. Money, yeah.
Because my dad's great at everything else, but when it comes to women, he's kind of dumb.
What? Thanks a lot, Dad.
I told him I wanted to go to a brothel, and he goes, maybe be nice to the girls, maybe give you a pity fuck.
Oh my God.
Well, he didn't say the pity fuck. That was my addition, but he said maybe they let you have sex with them, which basically saying pity fuck.
Suppose you were a man. She seemed to be flirting with you all evening. At your place, later, you make a move, but she pushes you away. Do you question A, her state of mind, B, your judgment, or C, your technique?
B and C.
Yeah. Well, doesn't it mean, I'm only getting my dating advice from that book about the cruise boat, but she was like, oh, if he invites to the cabin, that means you're going to be some kissing. Or does making a move mean sex? It's not a move to
I think if you're watching a movie and there's like,
hey, why don't we rent some porn on the pay-per-view? Here's your technique.
So I've been watching America's Most Wanted because this week it popped up on my feed that they did an old school America's Most Wanted from here in town.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, so I watched that. So now I'm getting all old America's Most Wanted. So I was watching one right before he came on, and they caught this couple at a hotel or motel or whatever you call the establishment where the doors on the outside. And on the sign, this is like from 1990, adult movies, 24 hours. I was like, damn, those were great back in the day.
Well, you rent that? You rent them at the hotel?
No, it would just be a channel pornography be on. It would be literally be like you got ABC, CBS, NBC, and tonight we got slutty nurses at 7, then hot and bothered housewives at 9.
What are they bothered by? What's bothering them?
They're all moist.
Moist. The decision to circumcise your son should be based on A, your doctor's advice, B, him looking like dad, or C, leaving him as God made him.
Doctors.
Does the doctors give advice on that?
I mean,
I never
usually
circumcised
some-
anyone. I don't know.
I mean, you know, there's some people who here in America still want their son to cock sleeve to have a sleeve, and looks like they're smuggling in coins. But
Have you looked at a lot of penises? Have you studied them?
I'll watch a lot of European porn.
Okay. An expert. I'll certify him. Okay. You could be an expert witness on the stand.
Honestly, I don't want watching my pornography. I don't want my male people. Looks like Staphylococcus is pounding the vagina. Is that too scared to use Staphylococcus?
I feel like all penises are beautiful unless they're on a man that you find disgusting. Like Hunter Biden. He does crack. Crackhead penis, why? There's plenty of non-crackhead penis out there. You know what I mean?
You know, let this coke on the front lawn of the White House, too.
Well, I just mean in terms of, I don't know what it looks like, but I know it's disgusting. But other than that, they all look nice.
Except for mine. Mine's just small, pathetic.
A comparison is a thief of joy, and you should find nothing but joy in your micro weenie.
Oh, trust me, I do.
Okay.
When I go to the bathroom, I yank it out through the sleeve.
Don't abuse it.
Oh, I've used it 3 times already.
You would be most inclined to marry for, this is if I was a man, money, sex, or status.
Damn, that's
Why would you marry for one reason, or you have to pick if you? But I don't understand that. I feel like status does it affect you as a guy? Like somewhere deep down, like do you feel this like fight for status or this like desire to like improve your status? Because I've heard that like men don't want to express their feelings. They want to like have something to increase their status. I'm like, what does it mean, status? Like, what does that mean?
You know, like
Some bucks?
no, it's kind of like
What about love exactly?
You don't want to be you want to be the leader and not ham and egg or bring it out the rear.
That's not what I heard. That's not what I heard. I heard that you like to lick boots and be led
Well,
on a leash.
that's the better. That's all guys of power like, you know.
Status.
But no, it's just like wanting to be president, wanting to be vice president, you know, something authoritative status spot.
But sometimes I think if they have a woman that's high status of like their looks or whatever they think, like it's to look higher status by the women and women like the same. But I just think that's so like, what is it for? Like status? What is like they used to say status symbol, the way you dressed, but it really just is like money, right? I guess you could symbolize your low status. I don't know.
I mean, it's like, say if you're selling insurance and you're at some no-name company that is out of a mobile home unit, but instead you want to be working at State Farm at a brick and mortar place where you're actually it's actually State Farm and not Jimmy Joe's Insurance that you see on the TV. There's that status too.
Yeah, but so many people like they do horrible things to have more money, like more status, like Bernie Madoff. he ends up in jail. So it's like, just to have a claim to look like you're more authoritative, you actually end up like screwing yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it must be a weird compulsion to appear higher in the pack. We need to breed that out of people. We need to find people that don't care about status and have a lot of sex and babies with them. The world will be a better place.
Well, that is also like another idea. You want to be with the guy who's higher up, so you don't he can have his babies and don't have to work, and then then there's the beauty status where, oh, this guy's chiseled, good looking. He has, a decent body. He's not, a flabby chubby, and he's somewhat mentally.
Yeah, look at this guy over here who actually loves his wife. She has cancer. Look at a loser. Like, what? Who would think that? I don't know. Actually, some people have faked cancer for status. Women.
So, I've been listening to a lot of Small Town Murder podcasts, and they did a episode from Colombia.
Any good killings lately?
It's on Unsolved Mysteries. But so, not to spoil it, but the guy killed his family, but the guy was employed by Joyce Myers.
Who's that? I'm supposed to know them.
What's that?
Who is that?
Joyce Myers. Oh, okay. So Joyce Myers is a televangelist.
Oh.
Space out St. Louis. She's like a female Joy Osteen.
They let ladies do that?
But here's
how progressive. That's new.
My dad and I would call Joyce Myers Joker because she looks like Jack Nicholson.
Just like Joel Osteen with tits. Could I do that? Could I be the next Joel Osteen?
Or Pat Roberts or any others of those snake oil salesmen. So I used
if she did porn, would you watch it?
No.
Whoa. Guess you would.
Unless she goes, don't rub it, never remains rhubarb.
Is there a lot of money in ministry?
Well, you think about it, it's kind of like the Brother Love character on wrestling.
Mm.
That is basically the same idea. Trying to swindle people out of their money.
Yeah, there's so many swindlers out there. It's horrible.
So anyways, I started
like that telemarketer show.
I started tweeting Joyce Myers' account and just going, "Why so serious?" This quoting Joker, and apparently I was blocked, but apparently now I'm not blocked. So I guess he's quoting between Joker memes all the time.
Are you bragging about being unblocked by Joyce Myers? Is this some kind of flirting taking place between you two? Do I need to ship you guys as the next power couple of status? You with the minister lady?
Well, here's the thing. I maybe had some scummy ideas, but I would never associate with that piece of shit.
Okay, put nicely. Well, thank you for calling. I'll save another caller.
All right.
Love you. Mwah. Well, yeah, I was having a good time, but then I thought if I don't take other callers and it gets late, I feel like I disappointed people. But how are you? I am here.
Hey, Preston.
Yes. So, how's it going? How's the car?
is I'm typing in this red for section.
You should get your car like and paint like a big like a Mercedes like a logo or like a Porsche logo or like a Honda logo, and so you can look like you have higher status.
Kind of. Corolla. Toyota.
Okay. Suppose you were a man. The women in your family are always saying what a hunk one of your friends is. Do you think this is A, sexist, B, juvenile, or C, a pain in the neck? All three. If I was a man, that's what I would say.
It could be, yes. Juvenile, I guess.
Your grown son tells you he is gay. What do you do? A, take him to a shrink. B, take him as he is. Or C, take him apart. Back then, though, this would have been more controversial, like in the 80s. But I think now, like, that's how they are. Take him as he is. I don't know what I would do if they were trans, because I think that's probably more complex. Let them be gay.
I'll accept.
The guys at work are bragging about their sons.
If they're mature enough, no.
The guys at work are bragging about their son's athletic awards. Your only son is an accomplished dancer. What do you do? A, brag about his dancing awards. Yes. B, pretend he's a jock too. Or C, just listen politely. Like, I don't think it's impressive now.
What was the question again? Because my phone is acting up.
The guys at work are bragging about their son's athletic awards. Like, no, look at my son did playing football. But your only son is an accomplished dancer. Like, what do you do? A, brag about his dancing awards. B, pretend he's a jock too. Or C, just listen politely. You can't just lie and be like, my son, he plays football.
I'll probably do it. Probably C.
Yeah.
Trying to pull you back up because that was okay, I see.
With buffering.
It's doing all kinds of stuff.
If I was a man, what would you most like to enlarge the size of? A, your biceps. B, your bank account. Or C, your mind.
C.
Yeah, I think mine too, especially like the problems I've been having lately. Like, because your mind, it's all starts there.
Yeah, probably before anything else, mine.
Yeah, because if you don't have your mind together, even if you have big biceps or more money, like, you can find yourself in trouble. Like, it's hard, but it's like everything is here. Suppose you were a man. You finally understood the facts of life. A, when dad explained them. B, after your girlfriend demonstrated them. Or C, when you saw your first blue movie. I'm going to assume blue means X-rated. Well, I never met my father, but I think ideally, like, the parents would have, well, I don't know, nowadays with, like, cell phones and stuff, and you don't know what their friends are showing them. I don't know if it would get to you first to have a conversation with them about things. But I don't know, because you would think be like, you see like a wiener and be like, what's that? What does sex mean? Because kids ask questions and be like, what do you have boobs for? What, like, just, I don't know. Where do babies come from?
Maybe, see,
Soft porn. See.
yeah,
Oh, so that's how part A goes into part B, and that's okay.
I used to be seen.
You would rather be famous for A, your talents, B, your athletic prowess, or C, your success with women. Talent?
Talent.
Question. If you were a man, you can tell a woman is passionate if she has A, red hair, B, a fiery temper, or C, a wiggle when she walks. Wait, what does passionate mean? Like they're horny? What is that? Oh, red hair.
That's kind of like outspoken.
A lot of people dye their hair red. I think only redheads are really from like Ireland. Like Terry probably knows a few redheads. I think I had a cousin that was a redhead. It could have been from his dad. Redheads are crazy. It's a thing. Really? A fiery temper. You can tell they're... No, because a lot of people can have a temper. Wiggle. You can't tell. C is a wiggle when she walks. That could just mean that they are off balance. They have poor eyesight and coordination. Suppose you were a man. You're strongly attracted to a woman who's already involved. What do? A, pursue her. B, wait and see. Or C, forget her. Obviously, it should be, well, the thing is, are you attracted to this person because they're with someone? Because I feel like some people are like that. Like, because this other person is with them. But otherwise, like, I'm strongly attracted to Norman Lear since he's over 100. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to forget him. Wait and see. You know what I mean? Wait and see how long. At your high school reunion, the jock who used to bully you turns out to be a financial loser, but you aren't. What do? A, rub it in. B, help him out. Or C, hire him as your gardener.
C, I would help him out, then hire him.
Don't people, the only reason they go to these like high school reunion stuff is to like brag or rub it in, or I don't know, like
I guess so. I never went to none.
If you were a man, she said she wanted to try the dress in the window. An hour later, you're still there. What do? A, make a scene. B, tell her which bar you'll be at. Or C, flirt with the sales girls.
I'll tell her Bob.
Yeah. This is taking too long. If for you, it was just a one-night stand, but the woman wants to get involved, what do? A, let her down gently. B, string her along. Or C, get an unlisted number. Well, I mean, you'd have to let her down gently. You have to be honest.
Yeah.
The women's liberation movement is A, completely justified, B, partially justified, or C, an attack on men. I feel like I know what Terry's going to say.
I say,
women's liberation, that was like in the 70s, right? There was a lot of sexism. Like I mean, you got to think too, how long did they even have the right to vote at that point? Like 40 something years? It wasn't like
yeah, I know this in every positive group, there's an extremist group that'll take things too far.
That's a good point. Yeah. Never thought of that.
Like especially in a religion too.
On a city street, an attractive woman walks past you. What do you look at? A, her eyes, B, her bust, or C, her legs? I think it's weird to look at the bust. Because
Yeah, probably more like
girls, they can like be like 10 years old, 12 years old and stuff, right? And they become very like messed up of like way too soon being like looked at like that, and you know what I mean? So I think people can be sensitive about that at times, you know, depending on the situation too, of course, but it's just in cases of women like that, you know, better to be not staring, you know. But I think legs, I mean, people look down anyway, or
I'm trying to be discreet about it. Look off.
you can absolutely help looking at someone's boobs, Terry. Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
I'll be like,
I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. Yeah. See? You have Jerry laughing. Suppose you were a man.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
In the high school locker room, the other guys are bragging about their conquests and naming names. You're still a virgin. What do? A, tell lies about girls you know. B, tell lies about made up girls. Or C, take a cold shower. Well, don't lie about girls that you know. But, you know, I feel like high school can be cutthroat. Like kids can be cruel. And it's literally, it's like survival. So, you know, if you're in survival mode, I don't know. Like, maybe it depends on the people. If you want to make up, be like, yeah, I have a girlfriend, but she lives in Kentucky. Yeah, I don't know.
I told people that I had a girlfriend.
Oh, what was her name? Karen? Makeup girls.
No, she moved away.
Oh.
That was like long ago. I was like, what?
You've invited her to a special dinner at your place, but you burn the roast. What do? A, whip up an omelet. B, phone for a pizza. Or C, make reservations for 2. Pizza, maybe? Who doesn't like pizza? What?
Say it one more time.
So you burn the roast, but you invited her over for a special dinner. And so what do then? Whip up an omelet, phone for a pizza, or make reservations for 2. Reservations will be hard too, last minute. Maybe a deli. Reservations? Yeah, I guess it's more romantic. I mean, I guess if it's a special day, but it's... Yeah, it depends.
I can get my omelet there.
Your woman scores higher than you on an IQ test. What do you say? A, so what else is new? B, what a stupid test. Or C, you lucked out. Oh my God. That so many of these questions are like, you can't have ladies being smarter than you. I'm going to do the one.
Yes, it depends, maybe. Yes.
Okay, now I have to ask you. Suppose you were a woman questions. Okay. Suppose you were a woman. Your best protection against pickup artists is A, ugly clothing. B, a sharp tongue. Or C, a black belt. Pickup artist. Hey, baby, did you follow this guy? Because you look like an angel. Sharp tongue. I would say. Yeah. Okay. Suppose you were a woman. When your very funny husband starts to tell a joke you've already heard 10 times, what do you do? A, say not again. B, live through it again. Or C, leave the room again. I'd probably say not again. Like, if it's 10 times, that's a lot. A joke can be funny more than once, but 10 times, if you're like, 10 is a lot.
I'll probably say, walk away. Why not?
Your husband is sitting down to his third bowl game of the day and ignores your call to dinner. Do you A, bring him a tray? B, give it to the dog? Or C, make him a free agent? So we'd rather watch football. They come, I don't know, probably bring a tray. I mean, if it's that important. Like, I like to eat while I watch TV. Do you have like a TV dinner tray that you ever eat while you watch? I don't know. I do. Okay, suppose you were a woman. At a party, a very beautiful woman comes on to your boyfriend. What do you do? A, let him deal with it. B, drag him away. Or C, show your claws. All right, what would you do if you were a woman? You're a woman. A beautiful woman is coming on to your boyfriend. I am a very beautiful woman. So I was like, so if you were a woman, you would be a hot babe. But I still think it's disrespect to be coming on to someone else's. So you got to show the claws. And like, excuse me, hi, what are you doing? Whom would you trust the least? A, a politician. B, a lawyer. Or C, a mechanic. Politician.
What is it again?
Who would you trust the least? A politician, a lawyer, or a mechanic? Yeah, you got like A. Dwight says C. Which would you least like to be? A, married to a man you don't love. B, the mistress of a married man. Or C, married to a man you love but don't respect. B. Why would you want to be a mistress? Would you be a mistress, Jerry? Would you be a Flusy? Lady of the Nights. You catch the love of your life with another woman. What do you do? A, leave quietly. C, or B, cry. Or C, throw things. Oh, B, I would cry. I would cry. I'm a crier.
That's probably one. But that was probably
throw things. What? John out the window. Something other. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's your favorite shirt. Bing. What am I? I'm thinking of that Taylor Swift video when she has the phone. Bing. Which is that video? Got a long list of ex-lovers. They'll tell you I'm insane. I don't know. I'm trying to think of which song it is. Anyway,
What?
where she gets in a fight with the guy. No, it's not. We're never getting back together. Sorry. Your lover keeps promising to leave his wife and marry you, but it's been 5 years. What do you do? A, wait and hope. B, set a deadline. Or C, dump him. For 5 years with someone with a wife. D, grow a brain. If you were widowed at 40 with one child still in the nest, which would you most want to do? A, find another husband. B, get a job. Or C, go back to school. Well, yeah, I feel like it implies that you don't have a job, though, or enough money. Like, it's basically like you have a child and you haven't worked, but like you need to go back to work. Well, you have to take care of the child first. That's your priority.
Yeah.
School, I don't know. I mean, they used to always sell those online colleges, and they would always be like, oh, you're in this place now, but if you keep doing this. But then I heard that some of them were like a lot of money. Like they were like very predatory of like people's money. So I don't know, but I think
it's scam.
yeah. In the old country, parents arranged their children's marriages. Now, your parents have picked a husband for you. How do you react? A, father knows best. B, demand the final say. Or C, run away.
Run away.
Yeah, that. I bet you, though, there are people whose parents have set them up or whose mom has set them up and it did work out. And I bet you that's like really sweet,
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to try your luck, yeah.
Try it. Hey. You saw what?
You should give it a chance.
Yeah. I guess, but I mean, marriage though, I kind of was thinking more of like a date, like a blind date or something, You saw your married sister going into a motel with a strange man. What do you do? A, mind your own business. B, talk to her. Or C, talk to mom. I would talk to her and say, I'm telling mom. If my mom was alive.
Yeah, I'd probably talk to her.
You didn't know the movie would be so gross, but your date doesn't want to leave. What do you do? A, put up with it. B, leave on your own. Or C, dump a drink on him. Oh, you could do what John does and get frisky in the theater. Be like, I'm not watching this. I mean, I feel like, yeah, you could say you wouldn't know, but I feel like nowadays you kind of know a little bit.
That's all
But
right.
from the
Once you
reading?
just swept past. I remember you said throw a drink on.
I mean, I could definitely see leaving if it's really bad, really offensive, really bothering you, but then you probably won't be going to much movies after that. You can't stand your man's favorite dish. What do you do? A, cook it for him once a month. B, cook it for him once in a blue moon. Or C, eat out when he cooks it. See, I was going to say they should have one where he makes it. We need to eat out, or maybe, but yeah, I mean, they could make it, right? I mean, it's 2023. I mean, this wasn't made in 1988. I was going to say, it's 2023. Like, men know how to cook plenty if it's their favorites.
They just want you.
Yeah. be hard though if you're in a couple, like to save money, and you eat different diets or you eat such different things, because that's one way of like pooling the resources. You know, it's like if you have kids to feed, it's a lot cheaper if they all are eating the same supper. But then if like this one has to have like this and this one has to have this, and that could probably add up a lot. You know, if you grow up poor, you know, you can't afford to be picky. You eat what's there. My mom said, when I talked to her one of the last times, and she's like, when I was a kid, she had these potatoes called like gratin potatoes of gratin, and I hated it. She said used to call them rotten potatoes. It's like I don't want to eat rotten potatoes. I wouldn't eat them. They're like thin. I never liked that, but yeah. But when you know when you don't have the money, it's like you eat what's there. Beans on toast, baby. That's your favorite meal. Oh my God. Okay, Jerry, suppose you were a woman. A policeman pulls you over for speeding. Do you A, take the ticket, B, he's laughing, argue with him, or C, undo some buttons and smile? Jerry, what would you do?
Knowing me, I'll take the ticket.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna take the ticket. What do you do? People, does arguing ever work? Terry, would you see? Oh my God, Larry, you guys, stop. If you guys were a cop, would that work on you? No. Okay, strangely enough, you're playing strip poker, and you're down to these 3 items. What do you?
What am I, a man, a woman?
A woman. What do you take off next? A, your bra, B, your panties, or C, your wig? Bra or panties? Bra. Well,
C.
Yeah, but if it's more between A and B, I would pick A, because you have to think of like the vagine, like what it's sitting on. And if you ain't got no panties, like whose house are you at? Where are you at that you're stripping? You know, like you don't want this to be touching things that, you know, be careful. the boobies are up here. So it's like, you know.
What if somebody
I guess you could like lean down. You guys just go taking off your your drawers.
I'm going to a strip poker.
Your butt plug. In a bar, a stranger pinches your bottom. What do you do? A, ignore him. B, destroy him verbally. Or C, slap him. Well, I feel like you have to do B, because I think physical, if you get physical, you could get in trouble. But I think in verbal, people might hear and they might get in trouble. But
what was A?
Ignore him. When you were growing up, this is for a woman, the most useful information about sex came from A, your mom, B, your girlfriends, or C, books. Growing up. Probably books.
Yeah.
My mom didn't really tell me much.
What was the question that you...
My mom said that if ever I was going to start having sex, she had condoms. So you go to her, you should be on birth control. And she had condoms in the house to take. I never had a boyfriend. Like, I don't know I did that. And I thought that was disrespectful. Like, I thought it was like, why would I? But it's for my other sister. So, but that's, yeah, that was like more the extent of it. Yeah. And, you know, if you're supposed to tell the doctor, but I don't even think I had a doctor with my mom, but I didn't have anything to tell them anyway. But I never really had friends.
There we go. All I'm saying is I find myself in a situation like that where it's not protecting you.
You've decided, this is, if you were a woman, Jerry, you have to answer. You've decided to have a child by artificial insemination. Who would you like to be the donor? A, Arnold Schwarzenegger. B, Carl Sagan. Or C, Bruce Springsteen. Well, I think, didn't Carl Sagan die? Didn't he have cancer?
Yeah.
He won.
I'm probably
Maybe Bruce.
Bruce Springsteen.
He's got the musical talent, but the longevity, he's still around. So, because you got to think a little bit about health, I guess. If you have to be an artificial, I mean,
He's going to be the boss too.
I wonder if they're saying muscle for Arnold Schwarzenegger, although a lot of that was steroids, or brains for Carl Sagan, and then for Bruce Springsteen. What is that? Because you have to have brains, you know, to be a musician too, I think.
Yeah.
I can't even think about this, Larry. You have to, if you were artificially inseminated. Okay, Jerry, suppose you were a woman. You would most like to change the size of A, your bust line, B, your nose, or C, your waistline.
C.
Well, your bust is easy if you have like a bra. Perfect.
I thought C. Those are hard.
I'll ask you one more. Hold on. Your love life has been in a slump since your boyfriend dumped you a year ago. Now he's calling for a date. Do you A, accept and see if he has changed? B, slam the phone in his ear? Or C, accept and see if you've changed?
I'll say see if he has changed.
A year? A year? It's taken you a year? Look, what is this, a booty call? Slam.
Slam?
Thank you for playing along. Is there anything you want to say?
Had a great time talking to you. I appreciate it.
Always. I love you so much. Mwah. Okay, both my lenses free. Hello? Hi. I was hoping it was you. Since it's almost your bedtime, it's maybe a little after.
Well, that was it. If I didn't get through to you now, I'll be quickly heading off to bed.
So, you did you have any biscuits this morning? Did you have any? Were you at the Dunkin' Donuts this morning?
No, actually, I missed Dunkin' today.
I should ask you this one. This one seems more for a yin such as yourself. This is the origins. wow, this is all sealed. Okay. Look at these fancy cards. Okay, draw here. Wait. Oh, let me see something. Okay. Guess the origin of common expressions. So what does this mean? Okay. Okay, where does it come the meaning of soul down the river?
I think slavery.
Yes! Betrayed. Origin. During slave trading days, slaves who caused trouble were sold from the northern slave states onto the much harsher conditions on southern plantations.
Okay.
Okay, what about run amok?
That one I have no idea.
Behave in a wild, unruly manner. Origin. Amok comes from the Amukka warriors who believed that to fall in battle meant you would be favored by the gods, but failure meant dishonor. They had nothing to lose and attacked in a frenzy of violence.
All right. That also makes sense. Get out there and do it or be disgraced.
How about this one? Mind your own beeswax.
Mind your own beeswax, mind your own business. Take care of your own pie.
It does mean keep your opinions to yourself, but where do you think the origin is from? When smallpox was common, survivors were left with pockmarks. Ladies filled in the marks with beeswax that melted in warm weather. It was impolite to tell a lady her beeswax was melting.
Oh, really? That is interesting.
Skeletons in the closet.
Skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, John, what does that mean?
It means you got a very weird household.
Hidden secrets about one's past.
Right?
In a fairy tale, a man gave his wife all the keys to the house and went on a trip. He warned her not to open one closet. She opened it anyway and found the dead bodies of previous wives.
Oh. That sounds very interesting. They could make stories about that.
Oh my god. What kind of a fairy tale would have okay. Widow's Peak. Do you know what that is, a widow's peak?
I know what a widow's peak is.
It says a V-shaped hairline. Is that when it's like here?
It
Like-
goes up,
Like Eddie Munster? Yeah.
I would think it has something to do with maybe sailing, the widow's peak on a house. The
In
wives
Europe,
happen to
This
go
phrase
up.
began with the peak on a traditional widow's hood and grew to a belief that hair growing to a point on the forehead was an omen of early widowhood. Wow.
Okay.
Whistle down the wind. I never heard this one.
Never heard of it, right? No idea.
Okay. It means to talk without purpose. Origin.
Okay.
The phrase started with hawking, where there is no point in releasing a bird downwind, since prey can smell it coming. It grew to mean whistling or speaking into the wind, where the sound is lost.
All right. Some very weird beginnings on these sayings.
Okay, but haven't you ever heard of any of these?
Not that one.
How
no.
about to skin a cat?
in a cat.
Okay.
I have no idea why.
No, you use that. Okay, meaning a technique for doing something. Origin. This refers to removing the tough skin from the delicate flesh of a catfish in a way that doesn't tear up the flesh. Oh, a catfish?
Catfish.
Why do they call it a cat? Kittens rejoice.
Baby fish.
Okay, how about this? Do you know what this means? Give someone the bird.
I know what it
Do you know
is.
what this-
Right.
Am I doing the right? Do they have that in New Jersey? That saying?
It's also called the Jersey salute.
Yeah, they have that one. Well,
They definitely have that
it means make an obscene gesture with the middle finger. But the origin,
one. Yes,
originally the bird referred to the goose-like hissing sound audiences made when they didn't like a performance.
Ah,
There was no way I would have known that.
no.
Okay, how about this? Rake someone over the coals.
Something like the fire walking?
Meaning. Meaning. Do you know what it means?
To tear somebody apart.
Yeah, to severely criticize someone. Origin. In the Middle Ages, suspected heretics were hauled over a bed of burning coals. If they survived, they were considered innocent, and if not, they were guilty.
That makes perfect sense.
What?
Witches.
So you're innocent if I kill you. Well, hello, no big. What do I win? Death?
Witches. If the witch died, then they weren't a witch. If the witch is still alive, then they were a witch.
Okay.
And they killed them anyway.
Fair to middling. Meaning average.
Average, right? Why? No idea.
In 19th century America, cotton was graded by categories ranging from fine to inferior. To say that cotton was fair to middling meant
All right.
that it was good but not the best.
Okay. That
So
makes sense.
you're rating the cottons.
After the guys who were sold down the river.
Red tape. Sold down the river. Oh, it's so sad. I'll sell you down the river.
You wouldn't get much.
Rigid compliance with bureaucratic rules. Okay, what is the origin of red tape?
Yeah, red tape is probably used on something. But I don't know what.
Legal and official documents have been bound with red tape since the 17th century.
All right. I guess I've never seen any legal documents now.
Hand over fist. Meaning accumulate quickly.
Again, picking cotton real fast.
What is this about? We're playing games. You want to play? Origin. Sailors put one hand over the other as fast as they could while hauling in a rope in order to hoist a sail quickly.
Okay.
Have you ever hoisted a sail?
Actually, I have.
Hand over fist.
Hand over fist. Actually, we didn't use hand over fist. We used that,
You are the nautical expert, the scuba certified. The $64 question, meaning a difficult question to answer. Origin, go.
The game show, $64.
On a 1940s radio quiz program, contestants answered questions that started at easy, worth $2, and moved through levels of difficulty up to the hardest at $64. That was like, you could retire with that. knock on wood. Meaning, rap your knuckles on wood to avoid bad luck.
I was thinking it was something to verify that it was for wood, not something else.
That's a good guess. It used to be thought that trees have good spirits, and it was wise to tap them to let the spirits know you were there. You were close. You practically had it.
Seriously, that's it.
Black ball, meaning to exclude. Origin. Good night, Arthur. Love you too. Black ball.
Black ball. Could be something to do with random picking out of like a bucket or a hat, and whoever picked the black ball was ostracized or lost.
A traditional method of voting on club membership is to put either a black ball against or a red or white ball for in a box or bag. Membership was denied if the black balls outnumbered the others in the final counts.
Okay.
So kind of close. It's for picking something, but
Yeah, it was to determine the outcome of a question or a contest.
balls to the wall, meaning at full speed.
Oh, that I have. There's so many things I could remember.
What? In fighter airplanes, the levers for controlling the throttle were topped with ball-shaped grips. Pushing the balls forward toward the wall of the cockpit was to go at full speed.
Okay.
I don't know what you were thinking. Some perverted game. Are you thinking balls to the floor?
I'm thinking balls to the wall.
Battle Royale, meaning a violent struggle.
Going back to warships.
In cockfighting, a number of birds were pitted together and left to fight until only one survived. These special battles were said to provide royal entertainments.
Cockfighting, huh? I'm doing really good, huh?
No, and I thought you would know all of these
I think
since
I got like one.
you're a reader. How about Blue Blood?
Blue blood.
Meaning aristocratic.
Oh.
Well, my brain is a mush mush.
What else has blue blood?
Certain noble families in Spain claimed never to have intermarried with other races. These noble families had fair skin and their blue veins showed clearly through their flesh. Oh my God. See, I feel like if you're talking about old sayings, if you just go with racism, you're bound to be right on some of them. In the offing, meaning imminent. In the offing. I don't hear this one often. Offing is the part of the sea that is most distant but still visible from shore. When a ship is sighted in the offing, it will land soon. In the offing. A lot of ship terms.
No idea.
Run of the mill. Basic, ordinary. Or, yeah. Yes, run of the mill. Bread factory, no. This phrase comes from the early days of fabric and clothing production. Clothes that came directly from the mill were called run of the mill and often had imperfections. Run of the mill.
didn't have inspections, you were good.
Boilerplates. You're definitely not run of the mill, John.
Feel like it.
Typesetting plates supplied to newspaper printers for material that seldom changed became known as boilerplate because they resembled the plates used to build boilers. The point of the game is not that you would know it. It's like you throw out guesses, or it's that you would learn. It's fun because you didn't know it. They try to make it like, isn't this interesting? Because otherwise, if you knew them all, it'd be too easy. You're doing fine. Okay. Dyed in the wool. D-Y-E-D in the wool, like dyed. The color, I think. Meaning deeply and resolutely. Origin. The process of dyeing wool can be done at various times. If it is dyed before spinning, while it is still raw, it creates the most consistent and permanent color. I feel like I don't like wool because it makes you itchy. Like, you never see wool panties. You might need this knowledge. Are you there?
Yeah.
I feel like you're not liking this game, so I'll do the other game. Okay, John, suppose that you were a man. When a woman disagrees with you, what's the best way to change her minds? A, tell her the facts. B, tell her your feelings. Or C, ask her to justify her stand. I feel like we disagreed on something before. And you were just like, that's okay. You've been promoted ahead of a woman who is better qualified than you. How do you feel? A, lucky. B, guilty. Or C, smug. 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 How do you feel smug? I feel like a lot of people have some kind of an unfair advantage, and they most of the time just feel smug. They don't feel like, even if people say they feel lucky, I don't know. They still feel entitled. They wouldn't want to lose it. Smug. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You're quiet.
Because I can't think of anything.
You're doing fine. I wish I could give you the game and you could read it to me. I would play. Well, I could send it to you. Oh, can I ask you something? I just remembered what I was going to say earlier. Is it legal to buy something that's stolen if you're not sure that it's stolen?
Oh, it's illegal. You might have a chance saying if you didn't know it was stolen.
Because, like, last night, I like this like highlighter from Pat McGrath, and I have it. But sometimes I'll look if they ever list one that's like a discount price if I ever need a backup, like just if it ever pops up and I need a backup. But that's out. So I was looking at Pat McGrath last night, and these products came up that were not like on for resale. That didn't look like her products, but I thought maybe they had like a lot. They had like something else. So I go on the page, and this guy, he hasn't made any sales, but he writes this: I buy storage units, and some of the things that I get out of storage units, I post them sometime, so you'll be here in a lot and send a lot from me. So I don't know what that means, but there was something about storage units. But he's got Pat McGrath products. This is literally lab, like it literally has the name of the lab, which is Reggie Labs I looked them up, but they're in Italy. He's got these pellets that even have like they're testing for stability and stuff. Let's see. Like not released like singles. But look at this. He's even got this and I should read some of the descriptions. Like this, he writes, you can even mix and make your own eyeshadow. Pat McGrath, me grab only the best. So he's even got these like what you would mix to like make the components of an eyeshadow, or it looks like. I mean, I don't know if they have for like binding. But like some of them, he says like they're not even released. These are anyway. So I wrote him on this one, and I said that I liked this like one violet, like this like lilac color, and he said I will do 30 for 150, and I was like I just want like one. He said one for $9. So like I just want one. I don't know if he's selling this. And then I started thinking, oh my God, if I bought one of these, like, could I get arrested? Like, if somebody, what?
I think Lyria. I'm not sure if they get in here or not.
Wow. I mean, it doesn't say they were stolen. And he says, like, a storage unit, but yeah, that sounds weird. Like, how would you get that? Yeah, for all you know, you're like putting poison makeup on or something. Or maybe he could get some like from his job.
Yeah, but you never know.
Are you tired?
Am I tired? I sort of am, yeah.
You sound sleepy. Are you mad at me?
No, never.
I feel like I'm upset you because of the game. I just got them for fun.
Never. I'm mad at you.
All right. Well, I suppose I should send you to bed.
Well, you're gonna send me someplace. That's not bad.
Well, rest well. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Mwah.
I love you too.
I felt that upset. I was like, is it the game? I just thought it, but I think some people like Arthur gets like that, like a pressure to answer right. But I think it's just fun to like learn something like you didn't know. I'm getting tired, but hi. Hi, Pale. Pale said that he'd be working tonight. I did not know that about my New Year beeswax. Calling if it's okay. Okay. Let me see. It says I declined one. I didn't decline one. Try again. Or I can call him. It's weird. Should I think it's answering? It says answering. Seriously. Let me try that again. Oh. Maybe because they both called at the same time. Not working. Sorry.
It's working now.
Oh, I was just reading you. Like,
That was a while ago.
that's weird.
You were talking about stolen goods.
Oh yeah, the makeup. Yeah.
I have a story about that I feel really guilty about.
What stolen makeup?
No, well, not me.
Prototype.
Years ago, I had a iPhone 5. Okay, and I left it in the truck while I was working. And I was taking the stuff off. And I could see a guy up behind the fence staring at me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that weird because there's a car truck and people will watch you every now and again, but never thought anything of it. So I took more stuff off, parked it. And I was walking back, I seen the guy standing at my door of the truck. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? He looked like he was on drugs or something. Like, get away. And away he went, he walked off and never saw anything more of it again. And I kept doing what I was doing. When I got back in the truck, he'd already been in and stole my phone. I'm like, you bastard.
Oh my god.
But that's okay. Phoned the police and all.
Good.
That was alright. And you know that you can block your iPhone and all by yourself, done all that. And put a message on it to call this number, and I put my mum's number on it because I'd be at work all the time or whatever. So that was alright. About 6 or 8 months later, some lady called the number. She had bought it second hand off a website for $1 for Christmas, and they couldn't get it to work because I had blocked it.
Oh my god.
So the police went and took it from her daughter's Christmas gift. And I always felt really guilty.
How could you feel guilty? It was your own phone. How would you? She probably thought that she was buying it from you, the rightful owner, but not somebody that. I mean, you had your property stolen. I mean, she didn't do anything wrong, but.
The police were going to get her in trouble for buying stolen goods, and she legitimately just bought a phone off like eBay or whatever. Pure accident. She didn't know it was stolen.
Yeah.
Oh God, she probably paid hundreds of pounds for that, dollars, whatever, for her daughter's Christmas gift, and they just opened it to make sure it was okay because it was second hand. It didn't work, and they went and took it off her.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like probably run into that, like storage units. It could be things that were stolen. It's like, because in the makeup industry, it's like a lot of stuff is there's a lot of like espionage, secrecy, like what's the new colors, formula, what, because like a lot of the girls want to know, and so they sneak out spoilers and stuff. But you could be another company wanting like a trade secrets. So, but as a collector, I suppose like you like sneakers or something. If there's like a prototype sneaker, and they didn't make many of them, but they were decided not to like do a big release or not to release it at all, but the prototype is still there, and someone gets a hold of it. People can be really interested in those, but then it's like, where's the origin of it? How did you get this? Because it could be still the property of the company.
Yeah, I think with the stuff you're looking at, what John said about it, you never know what could be in that. It could be the dodgiest part.
Yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't buy that. But I was just curious to write him, like, and he's trying to get me to buy, like, all of them. It's like, no way.
It's probably a good deal if it works. You don't get caught.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm sure they're going to crack down on that kind of thing. Because there's so much theft nowadays. And like you said, or like what happened with you with the phone, a lot of people immediately would go listing it online. And so the places that they sell it they're cracking down on it, where it's like, you got to show where this came from.
Do you know a funny story about that too? It was stolen from my truck, and whenever the police got it back, took almost a year for me to get it.
A year.
After that, because they were doing their legal stuff. But whenever I went to pick it up again, they handed it to me in a box. I was like, that wasn't stolen in a box.
He steals someone else's box.
Obviously, this guy's stealing lots of them, but he has enough boxes and stuff to put them in. Like, did you not look into it more? No.
Yeah, it's got like a whole enterprise going.
That's quality police work.
Okay. Green with envy, meaning
So,
jealous.
Green what?
Green with envy, the origin.
Right. Has to do with somebody being sick because they can't get the queen.
Origin. The Greeks believed that jealousy caused an excess of bile production, which resulted in a green cast to the skin. Well, it was kind of a sickness. That you literally turn green when you're jealous. Ugh. Clean your clock, meaning to knock out or beat up severely.
Did they use to hit people with clocks, bars, knock people out?
Clock has long been slang for the human face based on its resemblance to the face of a clock. Clean is slang for conquer or subdue by superior strength. Clean.
So shit.
Fit to be tied, meaning very angry.
Oh.
This refers to being tied up as in a straight jacket. For someone, a jacket for control of someone who is violent.
Okay, that makes sense.
So tied in a straight jacket, a violent, raving lunatic.
Because you're starving.
Stick in the mud.
Right.
Someone who is not progressive. I thought it meant you're like a party pooper.
Yeah, you're boring too.
Origin. This comes from an 18th century phrase, meaning there's something that was stuck in the mud, especially a vehicle of some kind went nowhere fast. You're stuck in the mud. Smell a rat. I smell rats.
What does that mean?
To be suspicious. Origin.
Right.
When rats were common pests and
Mafia.
disease carriers, dogs were prized for their ability to smell them out. This idea was transferred to a person who was suspicious of something.
Is that where rat comes from in like the mafia terms?
I don't know. Maybe.
Probably.
Can't hold a candle to. Meaning, to compare unfavorably with something. Origin. Apprentices were expected to hold a candle so experienced workmen could see what they were doing. It was a poor apprentice who couldn't do this competently.
Brings back memories.
Yeah. Of what?
Brings back
Candles?
memories of like my dad working on a car or something. You're holding the torch and he shouts at you if you don't put it in the right place.
Oh. Car bonding.
Not really. Don't teach us anything. They're just holding the torch. You put it in the right place.
Cross the Rubicon. Meaning, make a decision with no turning back.
Something to do with a helicopter flying past 50% of its fuel. Does that make sense?
Origin. Caesar crossed the Rubicon River to march into Rome. This act started the war that led to his assassination. Rubicon.
Archery dumplings.
So, what did you think of the competition last night? Did you make it to this morning?
No. I just went to sleep.
Yeah.
And then put it on whenever I woke up, and they were still doing it.
I thought a female would win because females tend to do better in endurance. But
America was going to take that.
But Cam was in the military, and I think that they, in their training, they like test their endurance and, make them have to withstand a lot. So he probably felt he could do it.
But with me, and I'm in the last 3, I'm going to make a deal. I'm going to say, if one of you wins, you can't vote me out for like 2 weeks.
I wonder, have you seen who he put up yet?
No.
Let me see if it's done. Let's see.
Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Be Cherie, please.
Oh, I like
She's
Cherie.
taken down a peg or two. Oh, I like her too. She's a great player, but she needs taken down a peg or two. Has she found out?
Okay, Cameron has nominated Jag and Blue. Jag and Blue.
That'll change.
My back hurts.
I think it'll change.
You think it will? Oh, from the
opinion. What is your one? Who's going to be one?
Well, I mean, I feel like Blue. I mean, Jared would like her to stay. Probably he likes her, and she's gonna fight like for Jared to save her. Like, Jared, win the veto, save me. And Jag is close with America. I don't know. This is my first time seeing who's nominated, so I haven't seen his reasoning or if he had talked about it with like Suri or whoever wanted them up. Because I feel like Blue is someone Suri might have wanted up, but
Can you explain how jury works to me?
what is the jury? 6, 9? Like, they go to a jury house, so it's not like they can't go home. They can't see the feeds. No, so they're in this jury house. But no, they get paid. It's like a beautiful house, pool. They're fed. It's like a vacation. And
Do we see that?
well, you see every week a little bit. Like the person that goes to jury, and then you see them going like, hey, you might get like a little tape of the shows, maybe, or like not the shows, but like they basically the person that goes to jury, they can tell them what they know, what they think they know, and the people in jury what they already know, but they don't get to know what we do. It's not like they're from home. So how you treat someone before they go to jury is very important because they get to vote for you and whether or not you win. And so your jury maintenance is a lot. Like if you leave it really bitter and stab them in the back, you want to make sure you're next to a person that the people in the jury wouldn't rather, because
I was thinking that Suri and Jared's secret would come out. The people in jury would know that, but you're saying they won't.
They might. I mean, say Izzy gets going to jury because they voted her out and she wants revenge, and so she tells them. Yeah, so they could know, but most of it they like to at least, like a lot of players will say, oh, I at least want to make it to jury because they still get paid, and as though they're like a cast on the show. They'd rather like right now. What do you have? Hissam,
Riley and
Kirsten and Riley. They're not getting paid anymore. They're not. They're just doing their interviews or whatever. But they didn't get to really last that long. But with jury, they'll do better. But really, you want people there that want to win. They want to go to the end. So yeah, that's a jury. But it still won't be for some more weeks anyway. So they treat these people however they want. It is interesting that Cam won. I wonder if Hassan would have won. I don't think Hassan would have won this. I think that would have been.
I was kind of shocked that my P theory wouldn't have worked.
Your P theory. I mean, some people, they pee themselves anyway. I mean, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's the
Otherwise, hasn't done it.
it's the other thing that is more concerning. I would, if somebody did that, I would just leave. Like,
What if somebody was doing it to make you leave? You're only when the head of house, like it's not that big of a.
all right.
No.
I'm a bit tired, and I have we have a date tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
So I want
Already looking forward to it.
to. Yeah, it's me too. I should be completely done with my time of the month. I feel like I had like a little bit this morning, but
And I asked you whether you telling me the actual answer. Do you have plans for it?
no,
You always have a theme or something.
not really.
It's fine.
It comes to
Always
me.
knock it out of the park.
Well, I expect tomorrow I'll be like really feeling it. Like this morning, I was like really feeling sick of it. So I feel like tomorrow it'll be like just ending the time of the month. So what?
You were feeling this morning, I couldn't tell.
Well, we'll see what comes to me. But it will be a lot of fun either way. But I got to
Always.
brush my teeth and wash my face and but I had such a nice night with you guys.
It's a nice night with you, so I'll let you go. Have
Yes,
some time to yourself, relax.
I love you. Mwah.
I love you. Good night.
And good night to you. I love you so much. Mwah.